Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Kaiju Kingdom podcast. We are your hosts,
Jessica.
and I am Chris Eaton. Oh, Jessica. Oh,
Ugh.
it is the day after Godzilla Day. Our Christmas and New Year's all rolled into one in this fandom. Oh, good Lord. This is the last 2 years we have delayed the show because you and I were both traveling. This year we're
Right.
stateside. We were like, we need a break. We we need a break. I keep looking at all my Facebook memories. I'm like, oh my God, I did all that. Like, good Lord.
I
So
know. I was just thinking about it. You were there for like 33 days. But the thing is, last year you were
hmm
at Godzilla Day. And then
hmm
the year before,
I
we
was
were
back.
also at Godzilla Day, but that was like your fever dream trip.
Yes,
That
because
was like because
it was
five,
all
6
last
days.
it was all last second.
Oh Lord.
hmm
Yeah.
but no, still fun because those
Yeah.
memories are popping up too because it was the same time.
Yes. Yeah. So you were there 2 years in a row. I was just there
Two,
for 1 year. Yeah.
yes, shout out to Helmy, Frank, all the guys out there in Japan. They were like, "You guys coming out?" We're like, "We're old now.
Ugh.
We need to take a break. We got to take a break." I don't know how Helmy does it, but that guy, if I could harness that man's whatever's powering him, I probably could generate enough power to run a major city for the next 8 years. I don't know how that guy travels like he does.
He
But
does a lot. Yeah.
oh man, does he travel? And he sees a lot. Like that guy, a 3 5 mile walk is nothing for him. So, but we digress. Yes, this year we're back, back to the basics. Actually, and you know what? Almost 4 years ago, before that, so 2, 3. Actually, I think it was 3 years ago. Before that, you and I were celebrating Godzilla Day at the Alamo Draft House in downtown LA with TJ Storm.
Yes. Yes,
hmm
yes, and thank you to Chris Mowry
Yes, big shout out
for
to
inviting us out. Yes, yes, yes,
shout out
yes.
to Maori for that. So we've been doing stuff since Toho's been like, "Hey, he's a big celebrity here. Let's start doing things." And that's what we're talking about today. This is the Godzilla Day recap. We are 24 hours removed as you hear this.
Yes.
I was so this is my first time out here in Texas.
My
Follow.
god,
So
your
I am
time
out.
difference.
Oh, so when I was in California, following this stuff, it was nice. It started at like 7 o'clock our time, and it was done by like 1 or 2. And I'm like, sweet, I can go to bed, get some sleep, get up in the morning, go work, do my stuff. This year didn't start till 9, and it ended at 5:02 a.m. It was like 8.5 freaking hours, and I was like, oh man. Even though I'm in the comfort of my own room in my house, there was a point where I'm like, I'm nodding off. I'm like, come on, let's just get to the short film, please. And then but then I had those recalls, especially that first year when I rolled up and not knowing what to expect. And I got there right as the main programming started, and there's Kazuki and a
Yeah.
sea of people. Someone had a photograph of this. They tagged me in it. I'm walking up, and I think it was Robert Moreno had a picture because everyone was like, they're like, all right, everyone sit down. We're going to start
Yeah.
soon. So the Japanese are very, they're very accommodating. And my fat ass is walking out of the subway station into Hibiya, and I'm just like, I don't know where I'm at. And then, like an archangel, there's Kazuki, front row, waving me down. He's like, right here, hurry up, 2 minutes. And I hop in, and we're your front row, not realizing I'm about to stand for 9 hours and
Oof.
watch this show. And then you and I, Sam and Hiroshi, then had to hightail it over to Shinjuku to watch -1.
Yes, yes. Although for last night, well, 24 hours ago stream,
Mhm.
did you take a bathroom break?
I did.
Or
There
were
was
you like terrified you were gonna miss
no,
something?
no. Thank God they in between each of the segments they reran the same 8 commercials for the various
Okay.
Godzilla. I've seen the ad for the Godzilla manga more times than I can count now. Because
Okay.
that was the big thing they were running. And then
Right.
they ran ads for Awaji and they ran ads for all the Banpresto claw games. So I love Japanese commercials. There's an art to the Japanese commercial that I adore. Last year, during the first leg of the trip after Godzilla Day, I had some friends come join me because they had never been to Tokyo. And as we were going around, I think we were going to Diver City to see the Gundam. And
Yeah.
we're on the subway, and it was the subway that has the ads rolling. And my buddy just
Mm.
keeps staring at it. And he's like, God bless the Japanese, man, because they know how to do advertising and they do it in such a way it's like an art. He's like,
It
it's in your
is.
face, but it's not in your face. Like it just draws you in. He's like, it almost takes you back to being a kid and watching toy commercials, and you're enveloped into it. He's like, I'm bewildered by it. So, so I got a lot of that. Were you watching the stream? Did you just hop in and out? Because
No,
you're a busy person.
I was not watching the stream.
Mhm.
I was asleep
Because
because
you're
I
saying,
believe it was I was asleep. No, I think it was our Sunday to Monday morning, right?
mm-hmm. Yes.
I went to bed because I ended up perhaps accidentally eating something I was allergic to.
Oh no.
So I had like hives and cramps and pain, and then I went to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? Like Benadryl and gone. I mean, I should get an
Yeah.
EpiPen is what I should be doing. But for those who don't know, I have like 4 or 5 things like I am allergic to, and I feel bad. Every country I travel to, I print out a color photo of that food translated into the language of the country that I am going to. And the
Mm-hmm.
top says, "Hello, new friend." I mean, it's most likely a waiter or a
Yeah.
server. And on the bottom, and it has the images and stuff. And on the
Mm-hmm.
bottom, it'll say thank you in their
Mm-hmm.
language. And I show it to them every time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and it's not an item that was on that list that I bring to countries,
Mm-hmm.
but it was similar in like all allergic reactions. So I actually went to bed by 10 to shock of everybody. And
See
then
you.
woke up the next day, and that's
Mhm.
when I got like news and stuff that was there. So
Okay.
actually I was asleep and awake exact time
Mm-hmm.
everything was going on.
Well, you have a valid excuse. I mean, you got
I
that
was
sweet
dying.
Benadryl. You got that sweet Benadryl sleep, though.
Oh god, I was
There's
dying. It hurt.
nothing. Look. I'm glad you're fine, and I'm sorry you had the. Was it something? Was it something in one of those fruits? You think that you
Oh,
hit?
the honeydew? No,
Yeah.
I don't think okay, honeydew for those who don't that's one of
Mm-hmm.
the things I'm allergic to. It was not honeydew because I didn't eat anything that I was allergic to that day, but it had all the symptoms. But to be fair, it could have been
Mm-hmm.
maybe minor food poisoning. I don't know, but I didn't have the sweats. I wasn't
Mm-hmm.
nauseous. I wasn't
Yeah.
needing to use the restroom every night. It was none of that. So it was just like hives and cramps.
Oh, you might have
It
touched
was
something.
bad.
Touched something and contaminated it. It's
Maybe,
happened.
but,
It
like,
happens.
my
It happens.
tummy,
Like
my
it
my
happens.
body was like, "No, girl, you're
Yeah.
out."
You run like a Walmart in 2004. You nearly run 24 hours. So there are times I'm like, again, like and I again, as I joke about Helmy, I joke about you too. I'm like, if I could harness that energy source that keeps you rolling, like if I can figure out the perpetual energy that you have, I could go places. I really could.
Oh, no, we need to be resting and sleeping.
Yeah, I know. You can tell all the gray in my beard. I cannot be doing the stuff I was doing when I was in my 20s anymore. I look, don't drive 21 hours straight across the country. I'm at 40.
That
I would
was
not recommend that.
oh, good god, don't do that.
I
I
just
even told you to take a rest.
I know, but I was making good time. And every time I stopped to gas up and stretch, I got a second win. So I was like, no, I'll keep going. And
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
by the end, I was so whacked out on energy drinks and nicotine and beef jerky that I was like, I can't sleep now. Like I have to make it home. And then I was up for another 5 hours. It actually beat out that first Japan trip.
Oh Lord.
That first Japan trip, I got up at 6 a.m. Tokyo time. My flight was not till 7 p.m. I had to check out of my hotel at 10. So I had to go kill time. So I went to Sunshine City and then I went and saw the Gridman exhibition. Came back to my hotel in Roppongi, then had to go to Haneda, and then a 9-hour flight back home to put me back in LA at noon. And my mom had picked me up because she's like, "Oh, yeah, I haven't seen you, blah, blah." I'm like, "It's only been 8 days, lady." Yeah, but that's a loving mother. And she's like, "You're not going to go to bed now." I'm like, I'm like, "I've been up for 22 hours at this point."
Oh
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
she's like, "Well, you're going to throw everything off." I'm like, "Okay. All right." I want to say I was up for 29 hours that day I got home, and I was delirious by the time my head hit the pillow at 6 p.m. That trip coming back from California back in June, I just did back here to Texas. I was up for 35 and a half hours.
No.
And the walls, it was like out of a horror movie. It was like Freddy was like moving through the stucco as I was laying down because I was hallucinating from lack
Yeah.
of sleep and being overstimulated.
So bad.
Yeah. So that's why, you know what, sometimes watching things at home is a lot better. That's why I love parades, but I don't like going to parades anymore. You know, my yearly tradition, Thanksgiving Day, I get up, I've watched
Macy's
the
parade.
Macy's. I watched the Macy's parade. I watched the
Yeah.
Macy's parade in Japan last year. I found a stream of it and I
Oh,
watched it
that's
10
right.
o'clock
Yeah.
in my hotel room, eating my KFC because that's the closest thing I could get to a Thanksgiving meal out there. And I made sure to watch. I have not missed it since I was 4 years old, but I have no want or need to actually go to see the Macy's parade in person. I want to sit there. I want Al Roker and whoever else is on the Today Show morning team
Yeah.
to tell me all the fun floats, and then I'll watch the Broadway pre-show, and I'm good. And then Christmas may start. That's how I roll. And
It was like me watching from the comfort today of the highlight replays of like the Dodger parade down the street. It was a lot of people, but I got the best view. It's from the
Yeah.
comfort of a Stitch. This is Stitch chair for
Yeah.
those wondering what are those blue ears. People are like, it's like an alien's captain chair. No, it's Stitch.
It's on brand, Jessica. That's what it is.
And then I watched most of it, the highlights while I'm doing some other stuff from like the comfort of a nice house.
Yes.
So I
And
just
meanwhile, our mutual friend Arian is sitting at home in San Diego, just kind of like, because his Padres got beaten out in the playoffs.
oof. Yeah.
So he was just sending me memes talking crap, but that's sports thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, those of us who were not lucky enough to be in Tokyo this year were watching from afar. Again, shout out to Frank and Helmy. They were sending me photos from the event. This year they moved from Hibiya to the Tokyo Dome.
Dome. I was gonna say the Tokyo Dome. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A hallowed
Woo.
hall for two different groups of people. If you love baseball, that's a hallowed hall. If you're a wrestling nut like me, that's a hallowed hall. I got to spend my last week and a half at the Tokyo Dome in Japan. So that was like visiting a mecca for me. And I'm like, when they announced this, they only announced the move a month ago. They're like, we're going to the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, snap. And I don't have one of our fans that follows us on our social happened to be there, and they were. I'm sorry, I don't have your name in front of me, but they were sending me, messages like, "Hey, I'm here. Is this it?" I'm like, "What?" And they're just sending me pictures. And there's that mall at the Tokyo Dome.
Yes.
Away from the dome. For those who've never been, there's like a theme park at the Tokyo Dome, and then there's a convent. There's Korakuen Hall,
Yeah.
which I think is where they held the actual presentation at. And then there's the mall outside, which has like a Viz store and like an eatery, and it's they got delicious food.
There's an animal cafe there. There's like an animal petting zoo there.
That there is, and there's also a massive arcade with
Yes.
like an AR VR kind of thing that Arian Kalyan and I did the Ultra 7 virtual reality ride there last year. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
something
Yeah.
on the news we're going to be talking about because they're adding something there that in this thing. But they were like, are we all just going to stand on here and watch on these little screens? I'm like, I think it's going to be in Kodokan. And 10 minutes later, like he writes me back, he's like, yeah, you're absolutely right. There's like a massive line to get in right now. And he got in at the same time. Our friend Frank got in, and Frank was telling me, he's like, I've never seen so many people for this event. He's like, I've been coming for like 4 or 5 years now. He's like, this is insane. I'm like, how many do you think? He's like, easily 20,000. I'm like, what? Because when you and I have gone, I would say what,
Yeah.
10,000 at most, maybe. Like it's a lot of
Yeah. Yeah.
people,
Yeah.
but not like
Oh,
overwhelming.
oh, yeah.
This morning, after I got up, our good friend
That's like a
Jacob,
convention size.
I was not even close.
Oh.
So our friend Jacob over at Kaiju United sent me a translated posting from the official Godzilla Twitter that said the official attendance for this year's Godzilla Fest was 39,000 people.
How are they counting? Ain't nobody there with a clicker. So
I'm
I'm not
assuming
doubting the numbers. I'm just saying, like,
coming in and out of the halls and the people attending the booths, they might be counting that way. Um,
oh, okay, okay.
especially with
Yeah.
lines for like the official store and stuff. So
Mm,
at the very least, looking at retail, I was told that like the vast majority of a lot of the exclusive stuff sold out by 11 a.m. before the main show even started.
damn. Damn, I
So
don't want to fight with people.
yeah, yeah.
I'm too tired.
Once I start hearing that, I'm like, that's bonkers. And I don't think there's ever been a just Godzilla related event anywhere that had that huge of a turnout. So part of me, my Grinchian heart grew 3 times its size, if you will, because Toho has officially ended the 70th anniversary 2 years after it began, because that's how they roll. It's like a white girl's birthday. It might be on the 20th on a Thursday, but she starts it on the Saturday before and it rolls to the Monday afterwards, because that's how you
Yes.
roll. They started the 70th when you and I were there 2 years ago for -1, and now
Yeah.
the day on November 2nd, 2025, it officially ended. So they're clearly not slowing down.
Yeah.
I want you look. So let me. Okay, let's get into the nitty gritty of this, because I think we're all over the place here, and I'm trying to be better about managing my thoughts. I've had some people go like, "The show's great, but man, you're Chris, you're all over the place." I'm like, I know, I'm a little scatterbrained. So let's start with the open. The show opens. The presentation opens with Takashi Yamazaki. He says he cannot be there. He's sorry, but he is currently elsewhere filming a little movie. And that movie happens to be the sequel to Godzilla -1. And
Yes.
he tells everyone, I will see you next year, but I have some stuff we're going to show you, and we're going to roll right into that. And there was like a nice little montage of the year that -1 had, from filming to the premiere to the US premiere to the Oscar win, the whole thing. And then we got little nuggets here and there of like a scene here and there of like them already shooting the film. It wasn't enough to like give away anything, but you're like, huh. It was just like Yamazaki going, like that cut, doing that whole thing, doing his director thing. Then the show starts, our MC comes out, says something in Japanese. And then here's the thing, people, the show was not translated. There was no AI Google translating going on. I tried, nothing. So I was relying on people who could speak at least some, conversational
Yeah.
Japanese
Yeah.
to relay things. But basically, the gentleman came out, and from what I could gather, he's like, hey, so you just saw Yamazaki. Last year, we announced we got the new Godzilla film that Yamazaki's doing. And then does this thing. the
Yeah.
screen behind him goes black. There
Mhm.
is this little there's the score of -1, and you see the logo, but it's slightly tweaked, Jessica. It's slightly tweaked. And it just said, like the
Yeah.
worldwide phenomenon, blah, blah, blah. And you get the -1, and all of a sudden the -1 disappears, and then
Yeah.
a 0 takes over the 1. And that is the name of the next Godzilla movie. It is officially
Yeah.
Godzilla -0.
I saw
And
the trailer in Japanese and it was in
mhm,
water.
yes.
The theme plays while the title is coming through water.
Mhm.
Because the last time we saw Godzilla, he was in the water.
A
I mean,
big chunk
spoiler
of him.
alert for
Yeah.
for all those who haven't watched by then, he is regenerating.
Mhm.
But he's in the water, he's in the ocean.
Yes.
So this is you hear the score, you see
Mhm.
the symbol, the G symbol slightly tweaked, and it's going up through water.
Yep.
I really liked that touch.
It's it's a lot more. I mean, it's bare bones. I know some people are like, "Are we going to get?" I'm like, "It's too early. It's
Yeah.
way too early.
Yeah.
That's not how Japan rolls. This isn't Comic Con where they're going to give away something big enough like the design or anything like that." Um, some people were theorizing like, "Oh, are they going to announce possibly Shinjuku?" I'm like, "There's absolutely no way in hell that's going to happen. They want to get to
Yeah.
the sequel first, and then it's obvious there's plans afterwards." And I'm going to come back in a second because an hour after the announcement dropped, the Hollywood Reporter had a story, and there's some tidbits in there that were very important about the upcoming film. So we now know it is -0, so it is definitely a sequel to -1. And the title's a little apt because the rumor mill when -1 was being made was the working title was Godzilla 0. So things come in full circle. It's kind of like it
Yeah.
when they did the Garfield movie, Bill Murray is playing Garfield, but Lorenzo Music voiced Garfield, but Lorenzo Music also voiced Bill Murray's character in Ghostbusters. So it was like that weird kind of come around kind of thing. Only old people will get that reference.
Oh.
So yes, they didn't give us a release date. They didn't give us
Mhm,
any
yeah.
cast,
Yeah.
nothing. But that is how they started the show, and I think that was the best way to go because now you got everyone hyped up for the next 7.5 hours. Um, they said there's more to come. Kind of insinuated it was going to be in the show, but not in the show at all. That was all they talked about with -0, and then they moved on to the new segment. So while we're on -0, let's talk about that Hollywood Reporter article. It was very brief. It basically announced the title because Toho sent them, the press release to print. But the after like talking about like the accolades of -1 and all, and how it made $110 million worldwide on like a $15 million budget. It's actually lower. Um, the the article goes into like, oh, so they're still filming, so we're still in production on this movie.
Yeah.
The paragraph in question stated as such. So the movie is more than just a sequel. It is being made as a statement for the Japanese film industry in general and a statement to Godzilla as a character, which means, as I'm reading it from someone who had, Jessica and I have followed Hollywood for a long time. So there's when these articles come out, there's kind of like a subtext you kind of got to read into with some of this stuff. So what they're basically saying is we're putting more money into this and we're just going to show you this is not a cash grab, and that since Toho is now expanding worldwide, they're like, you're going to want to start watching our movies because we're going to be offering some wild stuff. That was the first takeaway. The second takeaway is that they are going to be moving filming at the end of the month and into December to both Norway and New Zealand,
Yeah.
which is wild. Wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and you might be asking why. Because American films, we shoot in Australia all the time. We shoot in New Zealand all the time. It's the land of Xena and Hercules. For Japanese films, that is not a normal thing because the budget usually doesn't allow that. The last time a Godzilla movie picked up and moved shooting to other, locations was Final Wars. They went to Shanghai, they went to New York, they went to Sydney. The fact that they're giving Yamazaki the budget and he's like, I want to go shoot where the hobbits live. And they're like, go ahead, Yamazaki, you can go shoot where the hobbits live. Makes me wonder what the hell they are cooking up with this. So I can only imagine that they're going to have to address the elephant in the room of that ending with -1. And we might be getting more monsters. That's the only thing I can think of. If you're going to Norway and you're going to New Zealand for location shots, you got something cooking up. So my excitement level has now quadrupled for this.
I'm interested in Norway because it depends. Did they say when they're moving it? Like the season? Because that matters, right? Because Norway
yes.
is near certain parts are near the Arctic Circle.
End of this year. So they're going to be filming there in the winter months.
It's cold. Yeah.
So, New Zealand's summer months. Norway is going to be
Norway deep winter. Like
and there are two sides of the world too. Like that is why. Like we're going to Norway, then we're going to New Zealand. I'm like, you are covering half the freaking planet to go shoot this movie. So I am eagerly waiting. And the last bit that was in the article was that Toho and Yamazaki said we are aiming at a late 2026 release, which I think is just them telling us next Godzilla Day, get ready. If you're going to be in Japan, be here. But they also did say, confirmed, worldwide release. So good chance that, unlike last year, where it came out in Japan first, and then a month later we got it, it might be a day and date release. It might be the first time Japan gets a Godzilla movie and we get the same Godzilla movie on release date because of how well it did. That's what people kind of don't pay attention to. Did you go watch Shin Godzilla on its re-release?
Not re-release, no.
Okay. So I kind of forgot that Shin Godzilla is 10 years old at this point. Basically 10.
Yeah, 2016.
Yes. And it hasn't been widely available for a lot of US fans to watch. It's not streaming and the DVD's been long out of print. So there's a lot of fans that came in from the Monsterverse that this was their first time watching it when it came out.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people like, this is Shin Godzilla? I'm like, yeah. They're like, this is nothing like -1. I'm like, no, that's why it's great. They're their own things. It's a lot of talking. Like, yeah, it's kind of who's the guy who made West Wing? Aaron Sorkin. It's like an Aaron Sorkin Godzilla movie. It's a lot of talky. But it's the fact that people were so accustomed to what -1 was that they weren't ready for what Shin Godzilla was.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. The Japanese audience loves Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla is still like the Godzilla out there. That movie made bank out in Japan. We're out here, it did okay. I mean, you and I, we watched it opening weekend, but it was only they only played like 9 days out here, if I recall.
Yes. I was in Japan when I saw it. I was there for the premiere. Yes, it was right after Comic-Con. It was in the summer. It is very hot in Tokyo in the summer. And then, I did that. I did Shin Godzilla, watched it. Yes. And then after that, I went to the Ultraman Festival, if I remember.
Oh, that's...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Beginning of August. Yeah, it was wonderful. I'm sorry, it's hot.
Yes.
I just, the first thing in my mind is the heat. It's hot. All right, it's hot, it's humid. The nighttime was beautiful. God, if I could not go to Japan in the summers outside of like work or interest, whatever, I would not go. I remember telling a Japanese native friend that I was going in the summer. He laughed, he guffawed, and put his hand on my shoulder and was like, "Good luck," and was like, And he's a huge nerd. And he's like, I wouldn't even go for this film. He's like, I would
Mhm.
just wait. That's how hot and humid it was. Like, it was awful. But the experience was amazing. Yes, so I
Mhm.
saw Shinka, but then I also did see it again when it
You and I,
came,
you and
yeah,
I
in
went.
LA, in America. Yeah,
Yeah,
I saw it
we had to go to North
twice.
Hollywood to watch it. North Hollywood.
Yeah, yeah, I saw it twice, or maybe I
Mhm.
saw it with you and my friends, or I saw, anyways, I saw it in English.
I
Yeah.
did. I think you got. Did you get into the U.S. premiere? Like, I vaguely remember
Oh,
you getting into the
yes.
premiere.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I was invited to go, but I could not make it.
Okay.
Something happened, but I was invited to go, yes.
Yeah.
I did
So
not, yeah.
so to the point is Shin Godzilla made like $90 million domestic in Japan. I think it made like 5 million or maybe like 2 million out here.
Mhm,
So, but
mhm,
it was still
mhm.
at the time the highest grossing Godzilla movie.
Right, right.
Minus one, I think domestically only did like 30 or 40 million in Japan, but out here,
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
the bulk of the money was made out here in the US. Like it,
Oh, that's interesting. I did not know
yes.
that.
Again, we talked about. You want to go back and listen to our review? I'm just gonna recite it. I had people coming on the woodworks because they all know I'm a Godzilla fan, and these are people who would never like they saw
Yes.
Godzilla movies
Yeah,
when they were a
yeah,
kid, but they
yeah.
called me like, "Chris, did you see this new Godzilla movie?" I'm like, is the Pope Catholic? Is water wet? Is the sky blue?" Yeah, of course I did. I went to Japan to watch it. They're like, "That was one of the best movies I've ever seen." I'm like, this is my aunt called me. My aunt called me. She rarely ever calls me other than things that concerning the family. She's like, "Your
Oh,
uncle and I just got out of this Godzilla movie. Oh my god, Chris, this is the best movie we've seen all year. I can't
it
believe a
has a
Godzilla
broad
movie."
appeal. It has
It
a broad
did.
appeal. And for those who know, we talk about Sam,
Mhm.
my best friend who comes along
But
with me for all my journeys for what we can. He is aware of Godzilla. He has seen the film, like, the American films. He doesn't love or hate the
mhm.
character. He is a lover and and a person who studies film, like
Yes.
movies, right? Because
Mhm.
he's also a writer, another screenwriter, and other
Mhm.
stuff. So he watches it. Of course, he loved this movie because it has a broad appeal and it's written so well.
Mhm.
And he even said, even if Godzilla wasn't in the film or it was replaced by another entity, it
Mhm.
is still a good, well done, well written dialogue, character growth, everything you want in a film.
Yes.
It's still very well done,
Yes.
which you can't say for a lot of films. Once you take out certain elements, it's like a completely different film. Like it's not the same. But
Sam,
this one is not one of those.
no, no. I look, I got to see Yamazaki in person we were invited to the old Lemley Five. I think it's the Sunset Five now. And it was like my ninth time watching or minus one. I took a buddy with
Yes,
me
yes.
and we're sitting there. And this is when he's on his Oscar like campaign role. And the night before, he had posted on his Instagram that he got to meet Steven Spielberg. And like that was like he
Yes.
got to meet his hero. And he
He's a
was talking about it.
storyteller.
Oh
Yeah.
yes, and
Yeah.
he speaks modest English. Like he can talk a little bit in like it goes in and out, but he tried his best in English. He's like, I got to meet Steven Spielberg. I got to meet God. I'm 62 years old and I felt like I was 9 years old again. And I'm sitting next to my buddy. I turned to him and I'm like, you know what? For years I've always wondered what Spielberg would do with a Godzilla movie. I after the ninth time watching this, I don't have to. This is what classic Spielberg would have done. This is all of his Spielbergian tropes, everything. This is why you love going to movies. And I think that's why this
Yeah.
movie connected with like American audiences, even though it being very Japanese. Like the man understands the art of film. And
Yeah.
the reaction I was seeing online by people, they're like, next year's going to be nuts. Like this is our like all the film circle I follow on our social media. All anyone was saying is like, I got two movies to look forward to next winter. I got Robert Eggers' werewolf movie, and I got Godzilla minus zero. He's like, I can't wait for Christmas next year. It's going to be awesome. So, yes. So that means I'm gonna have to plan a trip to Japan next year because I am not missing this. I gotta go. I really want to see the Tokyo Dome setup, even if it's look. You and I do Comic Con every year, so
Oof.
yeah. I mean, we have the build for it. We're adapted to those kinds of crowds, but it's still a lot of people. But that said, I need to see it. I need to see this new setup. The Hibiya was always fun.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was outdoors. You prayed the weather was good.
Yes, here at least it's indoors. It's air
It's
conditioned.
indoors. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They still
Yeah.
had all the stuff, the Godzilla stuff, the Bandai booth, and everything. But I still feel like looking at it, I'm like, you can do more. There could be more that could be done here. Like there's potential. So, and I do feel this is something that Jacob and I talked about. There can be an American version that can be done with this because it's a day after. You could definitely, I think there's definitely, you just got to pick the right venue and get the right people to come out. But if you focused on the American side and then took some of the Japanese news and brought it over, like you definitely could do something. So it's I'm excited to see that like Toho, once they got to the 70th, I had this feeling like if -1 had just done moderate, they're
Yeah.
like, okay, cool. We'll just let Legendary keep doing their thing. And look, I love Legendary stuff. I'm not knocked. That's not a knock. I am in for penny and for pound on Legendary stuff. But there was a part of me like, let's just get to the anniversary and then we'll see where we're at. -1, I think, threw all those plans out the window of like, we're going to take a step back. We're like, no, we're doubling down now. Like we're going all in. And I mean, look, I have the lottery toys that they sell in Japan that Bandai said, you know what? We could sell these to Americans now. You don't have to play the lottery. We'll just sell to you direct to consumer. We'll wait 2 months, but now I can go to my local Kinokuniya bookstore and pick this stuff up. It's nuts. 9-year-old me would be having an aneurysm right now over the amount of Godzilla stuff that is coming out. So the fact that we're doing this and we're now and like the 71st felt like, this could have been the off year. We could have taken a break because we blew the engine out on the last 2 years. But what we're about to get into, they're like, no. We're doubling down. Like we're betting on red. We keep hitting red. We're going to keep going. So after the announcement, Jessica, there was some product news because that's what they do right afterwards. And I want to start off. Oh, go ahead.
Well, you said with the Americans, we buy this stuff. And I was going to say, you know what? We asked for something.
We did.
But, to be fair, I didn't ask for it. But no, bless all those who do.
You brought it up. So, and again, if you're watching the YouTube version, this is the first time I'm really trying this. So bear with me. But this is what we Americans have wrought on the Japanese. Announced last year for the Bandai Movie Monster Series poll. It was the first time they opened it up to U.S. voters. There was Mothra, there's Death Ghidorah, there was another Biollante. There was a bunch of things that were like, oh, you haven't done figures of these. And there was clearly a figure. Like they had Gabra on there. They were like, Gabra's going to win. We've never done a Gabra. No, the giant freaking condor won the poll last year. And I remember sitting there and all the Japanese fans went, what? There was a look of bewilderment. Like the condor this year, when they were in the Bandai section of the product presentation, they brought the condor out. So the guy from Bandai came out. He's like, this was the winner of last year. It's the first thing they talked about. And again, I can pick up a little Japanese here and there. The MC and this guy from Bandai were holding this thing up, and all I heard was U.S. Americans. Like they were like, look at what these idiots made us make. Look. So this went on sale at Godzilla Day. It sold out within an hour and a half.
You know what? We deliver.
We delivered.
We delivered. Do you know by how much did it win by in the poll?
A margin. a decent margin.
Oh, it's a margin. Okay.
Yes, it was a decent margin. Like it was not dominant, but it was the clear winner. Like
Okay.
it was a pretty clear winner. So
Okay.
that was a
Okay.
year ago.
But you
It
know what?
took
It
me.
sold out. It sold out. Like
It's sold out.
asked and it delivered. We
I
delivered.
they announced it on the second, like with all the exclusives. I begged everyone that was going. I'm like, I need this figure, please. I sent money to everyone. It's only $14 because it's a small figure, so it's not a
Right,
$30
right, right.
figure.
Right, right, right.
Everyone told me like the Condor sold out, and within like an hour, the Japanese Godzilla store in Odaiba posted, "Hey, we got the Condor," and I told them, I'm like, "Can you go to the Shinjuku store and check?" And an hour later, I got, "Hey, we got your Condor." I'm like, "So this bad boy's on his way to my possession in the next week. I cannot wait." So
Oh,
here's the thing. Because they were mocking us Americans for voting for this Condor, they're like, all right, put your money where your mouth is. This went up on the US Godzilla store yesterday morning as part
okay.
of the Godzilla Day reveal, along with one
Sure.
other thing. Pre-order, it's coming. They're supposed to get it in December, so about a month from now, so the shipments can come over.
Yeah.
Pre-order sold out in 4 hours. So we
Woo!
put our money where our mouth's at. And God bless Toho because they're having some fun with it. You don't just get the figure, Jessica. You can also buy the t-shirt. I love this thing so.
I laughed. I laughed out loud. I almost slid off my chair.
For the people listening who don't see it, what are we looking? Can you describe what we're looking at?
It is the scene where you see the giant condor, and
Mhm.
on the bottom, in beautiful medieval looking font, it says, appeared briefly, died instantly, loved eternally. It's just a giant condor to the face, flying in the face of Godzilla.
It's the
I
season
thought
that.
it was fan made at first, but it's
Oh,
beautiful.
this shirt's an American exclusive, by the way. I'm going to have to order this thing.
I want it as a poster though,
I
or a
yes,
tote
it
bag,
need
or a
it.
tote bag.
I got a feeling they're probably looking at it, they're like, we could probably put this on everything. It's a
Oh
simple
yeah,
black and white like screen print.
it's a black and white image. Yeah,
You can do this. Yes, it needs to be a 24 by was it
18,
20
24. No.
16 by 24 poster. Just something for your foyer when you walk in. That's what
Yeah,
this needs to be.
yes, needs to be
And a
on a
tote
tote
bag.
bag and a magnet on your fridge.
1000%. So look, we kept our end of the bargain. We kept our end of the bargain. They were like,
Oh my
okay, we're making this
god!
thing. You Americans better buy this. And we did. We bought it in droves, which now makes me wonder two things. One, are they ever going to open up the polls back to the Americans ever again?
They might be
Because
too scared.
what nonsense. And two, I think they're going to be too afraid to put things like the giant octopus or the sea
I was gonna
serpent
say it's the giant octopus. Yes, yes, I was
or
gonna
the sea louse from
do
Godzilla
it.
1985. Yes, I got a feeling it's all coming at this point. Like I'm watching Bandai with what they've been putting out. Like I'm like, oh, you guys are getting to the nitty and gritty now. Like you're. I'm not saying you're scraping the barrel, but you might be getting to the bottom of the barrel with some of these things. Um,
They're just
you know,
making extra money. Do you know how many units? Because it's
it's
sold out,
it's
meaning
meant.
there's
I
a
mean,
limit.
you look at this thing. It's not. It's a band. It's a injection mold. It's in two parts. It's the head and the body. He's not. The picture I saw. He's like that big. So he's
Yeah,
in
he's
scale.
kind of small. He's a little small. Yeah.
I guarantee they cranked out a ton of these things. But some people were saying like this is so dumb. It might be one and done. So I got to get it. But I got a feeling because it's sold out. Like the Toho might, Bandai might be like, damn it, we got to make more. Damn
Yeah.
it, we might have to go to a second patch.
You know,
So
it might also be one of those like it's so dumb, but I gotta have it.
it
Not like,
1000% is.
or people are just. I was telling Chris before we started. I like birds. I don't have anything against birds, but I don't know. I mean, there's a movie called Birds. I don't know what people's obsession is with large birds. Rodan is similar. As
Mhm.
everyone knows, I'm fine with Rodan. I really only liked Rodan a couple of times, but I'm not like a huge obsessed like apes, like
Mhm.
primates, right?
Yes.
It comes in like, Justice League, apes. We've
Mhm.
got Planet of
Right.
the Apes. We got
Mhm.
different things with apes, people and birds. I don't know what it is with
Birds
birds.
birds
Like
are angry.
large birds, not like
Yeah,
pidgeys, like pigeons and stuff.
or
Talking
penguins.
large or pink. Those are cutest. Shh,
Yes.
they're my favorite. But because they can't fly and they're cute and they waddle. But
Yeah,
like flood giant flying birds. Maybe it's like the obsession of being carried off by a bird. I don't
that's
know what it birds of prey, large birds and birds of prey.
look, for those at home who don't know, that's always been my joke because Jessica is a petite woman. She is, well, look, when I stand next to her, I'm 6'1", I'm over 300 pounds, so I look like Chewbacca standing next to Leia. Just like, "Arr," like what's that Wookiee standing next to you? No, but I always joke like I'm always afraid a strong gust of wind or a large bird of prey is just going to carry you off.
Oh my god. I'm
I've been
surprised you said Leia, not like an Ewok
no,
or
no,
so.
no, no. You're not Ewok small. You're not Ewok small. Like but you're not again like aerodynamically like a raptor of some sort can come and carry you away to its its nest to feed its young, or God forbid you ever come out here to Texas, one of the
Woo.
windstorms is just going to blow you away like the flying nun. So very dated reference right there. Anyway, so the giant condor it seems to be a success, even though the Japanese were kind of mocking us Americans for it. So, but I want to talk about something, one of the other things, because this is up Jessica's alley, and I sent this to her
Yay!
the morning after, and I could hear her screaming from Dallas, Texas, all the way to
Ah,
California.
Godzilla and Sanrio characters, they had something similar like this before, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
It was like Hello Kitty and Godzilla,
Mm-hmm.
but this is a little bit more expansive.
Yes.
No, it was Guatatama
Okay.
and Godzilla. But this is different and with different characters and much more expansive. So I was so excited.
Do
Yay.
you can you recognize any of the characters in the shadows?
Well, there's cute. Oh my god, I feel so bad because I can't pronounce the name's Kuromi. She's like
Mm-hmm.
the dark, the little you always see her, she's like a rabbit, like she's always next to my Melody. So she looks
Mm-hmm.
like that. Cinnamon roll, maybe Pom Pom Purin, Pachaco, or Hangy Dune.
Mm-hmm.
Hangodun,
Yeah.
which kind of I love him. He kind of looks like a cuter version of the creature from the Black Lagoon, little
Mm-hmm.
little reptile. But it looks like them. But cinnamon roll is actually already there, so I
Yeah.
in color, not in the shadows, is what I mean. So I'm not so sure.
So what we're looking at, they revealed two. So it's Kitty and I don't know the other one, but they're in like
Cinnamon
a
roll.
cinnamon roll. They're in like classic. It's like they're wearing Godzilla jammies, like
Yeah, yeah,
onesies.
yeah.
And next to it are on each side, left and right, are these shadow figures of these other characters. Both of them look like they're wearing Godzilla. That looks like they're all wearing Godzilla outfits.
Yeah,
So they're
they
not.
all look like I think it's all Godzilla.
Yeah. So the as we're looking at here
Yeah.
on the left side, it looks like that's a Shin Godzilla suit.
I was gonna
And
say the tail.
yeah, and I think on the right, that's probably gonna be a -1 suit. Like if I'm going to
Yeah.
take a guess. So these are, I think, coming out in February. They said. So
Ooh, of next year.
yeah, knowing
Yeah.
Sanrio and knowing the way things are, like they'll, I got a feeling they're gonna import these things over here too because it's Hello
Oh, yeah.
Kitty.
I hope so. I hope so, because I was in Japan when I found them, so I
Hmm.
don't know if they were available in America at that time, because I originally gotten them at the Godzilla store in Japan. But it
Yeah.
was ironically not at Sanrio stores. It was
Hmm.
in the Godzilla store.
Yeah. I got a feeling that's probably where they're gonna be sold too. Like they might not be
Yeah,
in Sanrio, they might be a Godzilla store exclusive.
yeah.
This one excited me. So there's a toy line that just came out. My co-host Arian, who we do Common Kaisers with, we now do a toy recap show, and we talked about this line that came out last month. I actually have them on the way from Japan. It's called Godzilla Burst. They're these little GI Joe sized Godzilla figures, and it's a very expansive looking line. And the first wave, they introduce a Gigan that's green that has Gatling guns for arms. So I'm like, oh, you're playing around with stuff. And part of the line is you can get a little Mothra, Kamacris, and the Sea Louse from Godzilla's
Ooh,
Return of
that I need
Godzilla.
to see. That I
Ye-
needed to see.
I
Okay.
I had that's the set I asked for. Like, uh,
Okay.
shout out to
How
Frank.
did
He's
I
like, which ones do
miss
you want? I'm
that?
like, this, and this. So those are coming, and they expanded upon the line, and they're doing the thing I thought they were going to do. Like, they're going to play around with some of the designs, and they revealed this thing, which is they call it Plasma Space Godzilla. And the line, you can buy other figures and they come with accessories that you put on other. So it's a way to, like, you have to buy Mothra in order to get Mechagodzilla's backpack. It's an ingenious way to make sure you collect the
Right.
whole line. So you
Right.
can add
Right.
on to
Right.
these figures.
Do you have the
There's
sea louse? Do you have an
uh,
image of the sea louse?
I can pull it up real quick. Let me see here.
Oh, you
One
already
second.
know who I'm gonna vote for next year. So if you see a sea louse figure, you're gonna be like, it was Jessica. She wasn't there for the giant condor, but she was there for the sea louse, possible octopus. But
All right, let me see if I can find it here. There we
caught
go.
you off
Hold on.
guard. Oh
Are you seeing any of this on? No, I don't think I'm picture sharing, right?
no, no, I
Okay.
still see the
Okay,
cosmic
hold on. I'm
light.
getting the image right now. Okay, it's coming up into the studio.
Ooh.
All right. So this, yeah, you're. I forget you're not as big of a toy nerd as I am. So let's see. This comes up. There you go. Hmm.
Oh my goodness. I just
So,
want the sea louse.
but you have to get. They come in a pack, so you get
I
Mothra,
know.
Macros, and the Sea Louse.
It's
So
one of those
yes,
things where you gotta like sell the other two separate.
very much so
Yeah.
because they're all like kind of in line with each other. Like the smaller figures, they're like, okay,
Yeah,
we'll pack
yeah,
them up
yeah.
together. But the fact they're doing the Sea Louse, I'm like, you guys are going nuts with this thing. So I'm waiting for my shipment to come in. I'm going to review them. But this might be a line I might start collecting because one, I'm a child of the 80s and 90s, so 3 3/4 inch speaks to my soul. And two,
Yeah.
you're doing nutty things, and I am here for it. Like I've for years screamed, I'm like, give me concept art figures because some of that concept art is wild.
Oh,
This is
yeah.
used very close to one of the concept art for Space Godzilla that's out there. So I'm like, okay, if you're going to do this, you have all my money. And I am hoping to whatever God is listening to me out there that Bandai has it in their mindset to like, let's sell them on American shelves because these will probably sell. And they're so cheap. They're like $10 a unit. So there's, they're fairly inexpensive. So there's no way these things should not be on store shelves. And last but not least, that was of any interest because there's a lot of stuff they were just like, we're doing this and that. There was some. Uh, so last year they announced they're doing a collaboration with Digimon. So they've been releasing. They released a Digimon, the little keychain game
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
has Godzilla characters that are combined with the Digimon.
To the Digimons, yeah.
Yes. So they've been releasing the Defil reels, the kind of the X Plus super deformed figures. They had this guy, and
Yeah.
14-year-old me's like, I gotta have this thing. This is a full X Plus 30 centimeter War Greymon as Godzilla, and it's the most awesome thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I'm like, this is so ridiculous. I have to have it. I begged everyone, I'm like, please go give me some footage of this. But everyone's like, we're gone, man. I'm like, okay, I'll scour the internet. So yeah, so they announced this guy. He's coming out later. None of the stuff has made it to US shelves yet. So I don't
How
know
much
this.
is it? How much is it?
He's probably gonna be like $270. Uh
Okay.
at least Japanese. If he gets imported over here, he's probably gonna easily be like 300.
300
It's a
something. I was, yeah.
yeah, it's a
It's a big
big
figure.
figure. It's 30 centimeters, so it's about 12 and a half inches, pushing 13 probably. So I only have one X Plus left, and that's the Ride, and he's huge. So I'm like, I don't even know where I'm gonna put this thing, but I need it. Like the 14-year-old version of me is like, I gotta have this thing. Like I was a big Digimon watcher back in the day. I low brow. I think it's better than Pokemon too. So, um, you know, that's
I just want to say real fast in
mhm,
college, I knew 3 guy friends. I love them very much, still friends with them today.
mhm,
I watched a three-way fight while eating ramen like a college kid of the
mhm.
3 of them arguing Pokemon, Digimon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, which one is the best and why? And it was an epic showdown of nerds that I just my people are amazing. Nerds as in my people, not like
Yes,
I'm
yes.
into that, but it was amazing. And then it got heated.
Mhm.
And by then I said, "This is dangerous. I need to leave. Also, I have homework due." So I was like, it was I mean, I knew before then what Digimon Yu-Gi-Oh was, but
Mhm,
whenever I see Digimon or Yu-Gi-Oh, I
mhm,
think of that because
mhm,
my friend who defended Digimon was the most vocal and heated.
mhm. Well,
So
Digimon arguably was better because it wasn't just cockfighting for kids.
arguably was better.
Arguably, back then
I'm not
you
saying
had.
you're wrong. I don't
I mean, I would say Pokemon's the Coke, Digimon is the Pepsi, and then
Okay.
you had Monster Rancher as the RC Cola. It
Oh,
was the third
Yu-Gi-Oh.
choice. No, no, not
Okay.
Yu-Gi-Oh! There was
Now I
Monster
was like,
Rancher.
there was Monster Rancher, but I was like, what are you gonna put Yu-Gi-Oh as?
Yu-Gi-Oh goes in with card game nonsense. I don't look. Yu-Gi-Oh!
I know.
I was at the butt end of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Phase, and even I was like, I'm not. This is an offshoot of the Pokemon card game, so I don't put it in the same
Okay. Okay.
spectrum as that.
Okay.
That Yu-Gi-Oh! And like Cardcaptor Sakura, like feel like they go together
Okay.
well.
Okay,
Like
Cardcaptor.
that.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
No,
yeah.
I'm talking about like you get little monsters and you make them fight, and that's what
Okay.
Monster Rancher was. But Monster Rancher, the game, had the added effect of like if you played it on PlayStation, what you would do is you would take the game out, so the data was still running, and then you go get your Linkin Park Hybrid Theory CD, pop it in, and it would read the data, and whatever the codex was, it would generate a monster based on that. And my buddy had the
Woo.
game, and he knew I had it at the time. I was collecting DVDs, and he had the PS2 version. He's like, "Hey man, I need you to bring every DVD that's like American store bought over here right now." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Because you can unlock. I could unlock 99% of the roster with your collection right now." So I went over to his house one day, and for 4.5 hours, he was putting in all my copies of Highlander, Terminator 2, Evil Dead 2, and it was just all these monsters would be popping up. He's like, "Okay, what else you got?" I'm like, "I don't know, like." Here's my Godzilla. And ironically, the Godzilla discs from Sony were the only things that didn't give him anything. So I think it was
Oh.
like, Japanese were like, no, no, you do American only. This is an American only disc. So, um, but yeah, everything else, like he completed like 90% of the roster. Then he's like, you got any CDs? I'm like, I didn't bring any of the CDs I have, man. Like, you're gonna have to go do that yourself. Like, I've been sitting here watching you do this bored out of my mind for the last 4 hours. So I got things I got to do. But yeah, I always felt Monster Rancher was the RC Cola. Like, it's always there. It's the third option. And sometimes you want one, but most of the time you're like, I'll just go with a Pepsi or a Coke. But I digress. There's a lot of people like, I'm 51 years old. I have no idea what you're talking about. Listening to this right now. So a lot of talking. There was the Battle Line presentation that they do
Mhm.
every year,
Mhm.
which I don't play Battle Line. I know it's big in Japan. Some people out here play it. Cool. They got characters coming. Then there was the Godzilla vs. Destroyer 30th anniversary presentation. Wakasa was there talking. The director was there. The big news that came out of that, they're doing a 4K for Godzilla vs. Destroyer. It's probably coming out next year. So I think that's implication of the inevitable Criterion release that we're going to
Mhm.
be getting sooner or later. So that was that big news. The big thing that we all watched, and I know
Yes.
Jessica at least watched this, was that they announced that, hey, those short films you guys like watching? Well, we kind of told you last year we were done. Yeah, it turns out we lied. And we're starting a brand new series. and we're calling it Godzilla Fest 2. And the first chapter is called Shinjuku in Flames. And we're going to premiere it at Godzilla Fest. It's the second to last thing on the show, like it always is. And so I would say it's like an 8.5 minute short, like they all are. And they changed the costume. So they're not using the Final Wars costume, at least the street final. This looks like a movie quality costume that they're
Yeah,
using.
yeah. Shinjuku burning, right? Is
Yes.
that the direct?
I think
Okay. Is Shinjuku burning?
Shinjuku burning or Shinjuku in Flames. It's I got to double check it. So it's like, all right, cool, new Godzilla short film. It's done with the suitmation. Awesome. I would
Yeah.
like to see. And the fun thing is every year since they started doing these things, they get a little longer and they put a little more of the
Yes.
budget into it. The last couple of years they made a new suit for Gigan and Jet Jaguar. And last year's short was amazing. I watching that thing at the top of that hill with a bunch of other Godzilla nerds, everyone cheering when Jet Jaguar gets the Gigan claws and cuts off Ghidorah's head, doing the whole thing. I'm like, this is magical. So I'm curious to what they're going to do. And they did say ahead of time, this is a brand new series, which meant there's going to be entries every year going forward. Now, how long? Don't know. But there's definitely going to be more. So I had that in mind when I sat down and finally watched it at 4:15 in the morning. And it was amazing. It was
It
amazing.
was very, very cool. Yes. Yes.
This short, like, I'm not showing anything on our feed because I don't want Toho to be like, hey, copyright strike, DACA strike. But I do have an image.
Yeah.
I have an image to show you because this is the thing that they did.
Yes.
Millennium Godzilla.
Yes, that was different than the image I thought you were gonna show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah. But yes.
Yes. So.
Oh yes.
They gave him a power up. They gave him a Super Saiyan form.
Yeah. Yes.
I love this. I love this ever since Legendary did it with King of the Monsters, where they're like, that looks cool. Instead of him dying, that could be like a power up. I'm like, yes, it could. And now they're doing it with this, and now it's like official. So this is his Super Saiyan form, like, or those watching, One Piece, this is his Gear 2 or 3, whatever the hell you want to call it. So this short was immaculately well done. Like, there was some insane shots done on this. They definitely had a budget on this one. So the thing is, it's very much just a bunch of soldiers defending Shinjuku from Godzilla's rampage. There were some very elaborate shots. There's a great shot of a dude like mopping in an office building as the military,
not knowing that things is going on.
Godzilla's go ahead.
No, he's just like rampaging. It's one of those like, how can you not hear the giant dinosaur coming? Jurassic Park reference.
Yeah.
And then in the background, right after the janitor's done cleaning and then he realizes Godzilla's outside, if you look at these passing by the building, there are people like, I don't know if they're fighting or what they're doing, but they're in like an apartment building across the street. But you just see shadows of them moving.
It really gave me hope. I'm like, I think you guys can do a suit style with miniatures with modern technology. Like, you can add those details now and really make it look good. This is the one thing, like last year when we were at G-Fest, I rewatched Godzilla 98 for the first time in like 10 years or so. And sitting in the theater watching it, I'm like, you know what? It's not the best movie. It's a decent giant monster movie. I'm a little softer on it now, but the thing that still stands out is the effects look phenomenal in this movie. And I realized that sequence when Godzilla dodges the homing missiles and it blows up the Chrysler building and the top is just falling down. I'm like, that's all miniatures. And it looks so much better than any of the CG crumbling that we get now because no one wants to build miniatures. So all of this looked phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Jessica, there's a moment in here that was adorable. It was absolutely adorable.
It was so cute.
When he gets to downtown Shinjuku and he gets to the Godzilla head.
Yeah.
and he's just doing that like, huh.
Yeah, he
And
sees himself. Yeah, for those
yeah.
who can't see us on YouTube,
Mhm,
he does kind of, when like a dog
mhm,
sees either himself in the mirror or another dog or something curious, or you're talking to him like, "Hey, buddy, what do you want to eat?" or something. They
mhm,
cock their head kind of
mhm,
side to side like they're looking and thinking. That's
mhm.
exactly what he did.
It was a
It was so cute.
it
I
was a
thought it was
yeah.
cute.
Oh, it was an adorable moment, and, part of me was like, I wanna say this is an homage to the Godzilla tower scene too, but that might be
Mm,
just my nerdy self talking. So, but anyway, they bombard Godzilla. He goes burning mode,
yeah.
unleashes this thing. The military's defeated, and then you're like, "Is this all this is gonna be?" And then all of a sudden, like this glow comes up behind him,
Yes.
and you see this ethereal fog, and there's something moving in it, but you
Yeah.
can't tell what it is. And there's a sound coming from it that doesn't sound like. At first, I'm like, "Are they doing Mothra?" I'm like, "No, that doesn't sound like Mothra." And it's like a weird mixture of like Mothra's chirp and the King Ghidorah roar from the Legendary movie. So I'm like, "What is that?" And Godzilla just stares it down. Credits. I'm like, "You bastards!"
Well, yeah, because like the soldier who
Mhm,
sees the destruction then starts to look over and realizes that something else as terrifying or more terrifying is coming. All
mhm,
right, because the fog is slightly purple,
mhm,
I didn't, to be fair, I've only seen it once. I
mhm,
didn't pause to really look, but I thought maybe because it's purple, I was like, is that Shinny? Is Shin Godzilla coming? What is anything can happen if he sees himself at a
mhm.
tower of the Hotel Gracery.
Yeah.
Anything is out the window at this
Yes.
we got Hello Kitty Godzilla happening, we got the sea louse. Okay, so anything can happen in Toho's
Yes.
world,
Well,
and I didn't know if it was like Shin just because I think I saw purple and I saw what looked like not the tail, but
yeah, there's like a
maybe
trendle.
something
There's
like a
something moving.
trendle, yeah, something thinner, slender moving.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I could
Well,
be completely wrong. I'm just
we don't
saying
know,
I
but
saw purple.
clearly, so sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but yeah, so
No.
clearly they're setting up a sequel, so next year. And it really felt like, okay, you're going to give us money to do this. So we got a year to build a suit for whatever the hell we're going to do here. Could it be
Yeah.
something new? Could it be a classic character? We don't know. We got to, much like the day after Christmas, I got to wait 365 days for this to come around again. So we got 364 days to sit here and elaborate on what the heck Godzilla is going to fight. They might give us a little heads up, maybe a month, like next October before the thing, but they're clearly doing something. They clearly have plans, which I'm happy for. I'm happy that they're continuing doing this. And it's a nice tradition now. It's part of, I think it's part of the reason people are coming in and tuning in. But it's also I'm like, okay, well, if this is your excuse to like set aside budget to build more suits, because all of those suits that they've built for these things, they now roll out to all these public appearances. So they also might be looking at like, okay, let's bring back another monster because that's another photo op. That's another, there's videos of the Gigan suit from like 3 years ago at this show, and they've been rolling out. They did a card event last month, and the guy who's in the Gigan suit, I want a Three's Company style sitcom with just the monsters. There doesn't have to be any dialogue, but the guy in the Gigan suit is playing Gigan as like this kind of mischievous ne'er do well a little bit. Like he's like kind of popping around the corner, and the guy in the Godzilla suit's like meeting kids. He comes up and kicks them, and then runs off, and it's hilarious. Like there's a lot of fun stuff. So whoever's in that suit, bless your heart, because you're given like a whole new degree of character to Gigan, and I am here for it. So but yes, we got to wait one more year to see what the heck
Woo.
Godzilla's going to fight. But that gives us something to look forward to. We now have a short film next year, uh, Godzilla minus zero, and then 4 months after that, Godzilla Supernova, because that's in March of 2027. So our cup will doth overflow once again. And I think Monarch season 2 is going to be smacked in there somewhere too. So next year is going to be a very, very busy and big year. So it's going to be heavy on the wallets and heavy on the fandom. But it also means Jessica and I are going to be talking about a lot more of this nonsense that we do love. So, and after that, they wrapped up the show. They sang happy birthday to the Godzilla. They had the gentleman that played, I think he was the pilot of Mechagodzilla, come out. So last 2 years, Yamazaki was there. He couldn't be there, as he said at the opening. I'm filming a new movie for you guys to see. So that wrapped up Godzilla Day in Japan. So it was actually more. There was more than I was expecting this year. I was expecting a very light year, but it turned out to be a somewhat heavy year. The American side, the Alamo Draft House celebrated Godzilla Day. They showed Return of Godzilla. I went because that is my first Godzilla movie. I've never seen it in a theater. So I sat there and it sold out. It was sold out. That brought such joy to me. And it was, Jessica, you'll probably appreciate this. It was done on a double feature with Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Ooh,
yes.
Good choice.
Very much so. Ooh, Godzilla makes an appearance in that movie too. So I didn't stay for Pee-wee. I was already exhausted. I was like, I did not get enough sleep today. So, but Super 7 announced a bunch of stuff. Mondo announced a bunch of stuff. The Godzilla store dropped a bunch of stuff. Like and Ari and I are going to cover that because that's more visual next week on our toy show. So stay tuned for that. But there we go. That's Godzilla Day 2025. Clearly.
You know what, though? This year, they didn't drop something that was like $32,000.
You are correct. They did not do that. They did not have... I think they learned a lesson there. They're like, hey,
Did it sell out? Did they only make 6 or something? Like, it was something beautiful.
It was.
But the price.
Yeah. I want to say they had one of them on display at the Godzilla Art last year.
Yeah.
But yeah, those, I mean, they're gorgeous, but like, for most people, that's the price of a car. Like, if you got that money to be throwing around, man, like, God bless you, because God, you're living a better life than we are. So, but yeah, no, there was nothing that big. And not even like food wise. Last year
they had that bento box. Yeah, they
Yeah.
had that bento box. Yeah.
No, the closest thing they did was they had a little sandwich box you can buy at the show this year.
Oh.
It had a little cartoon Godzilla on it, and it was like a sandwich and some snacks and stuff. The American side, the Jade City people put out a limited edition hot sauce called was Watermelon Inferno, which is a spicy watermelon flavor. I'm morbidly curious about this, but I don't know how that works. But okay, sure. And it's limited to 50, so something I don't know. I'm not knocking them, but I'm like, did someone just make a weird batch and like we can't get rid of this, so let's just bottle it?
We got the licensing rights, might as well.
Yeah.
Whew.
So a very, very exciting Godzilla Day. And Jessica, in T-minus 2 weeks, it's the 60th anniversary of Gamera.
Yes.
So there's going to be a little Gamera Fest in Tokyo. I'm pretty sure I don't know what, in as much as Toho's like, we're printing money with Godzilla. Kodokawa's like, oh yeah, people like this thing. I throw them a bone this year. So it's so disheartening to see at times because there's clearly a love for Gamera, but he seems to be like the doormat of like Japanese giant monsters right now. And I feel like Ultraman's in like a renaissance. Godzilla's going strong. Even King Kong's popular again. Give us the flying turtle. The flying turtle that the great Jack Kirby loved to death. His assistant talked about it at Comic-Con one year. He's like, when I was 18 years old, I went to work for Jack, the last 10 years of his life, and he would sit there and draw and watch Gamera movies. He would just watch them all day long. I asked him, it's like, why? He's like, because when he shoots fire out of his butt, it makes me laugh.
I was gonna say he deserves love. He's a friend of the children.
He is. So,
And yeah, he's my original turtle buddy. I do love TMNT, all right, before people come at me.
mhm.
Uh, but he was the first turtle-like creature, and then I think it literally was a week between each other when I discovered it when I was 3, but
Mhm.
I I I love him.
I
He's
know.
so cool. Oh, do you remember? I think it was years. Those who will remember, I may have mentioned it in our podcast like
Mhm.
8 years ago, trying to get a Gamera plushie that wasn't wrecked, all
Yeah.
right? Like, was like
Mhm.
through eBay and clearly was very loved or found in a
Yes.
trash can that could be
Mhm.
very loved. Was near dang impossible
Mhm.
to find
Yeah.
a Gamera plushie.
I
So I
I mean,
understand what you mean about
hold on.
this guy needing to be
I
loved.
oh, sorry. I found
No, it's
this,
okay.
and this goes along with my big Godzilla piggy bank I bought last year. I found
Oh,
this like a month after I moved out here. My Utaka chubby
yes,
Gamera bank.
yes.
So
It's a little chibi Gamera bank for those, like a piggy bank for those who can't,
yeah,
who's
I was
listening
putting
to us but not watching us.
I was putting stuff in it, but the cap is starting to fall apart. So
Oh no.
I'm not using him for storing things anymore. He's strictly for display now. So the Godzilla piggy bank though, he's holding strong. So he gets to
Yeah,
hold all my loose change.
yeah.
And I am actually on a quest to fill that thing to the brim because I want to see how much this guy will hold. So when I do fill it, I will make a video, and I'm gonna
Okay.
take it. I'm gonna take it to the Coin Star, and I'm gonna pop the cork at the bottom, and we're gonna see
Oh my
how
god.
much money Godzilla can hold in American currency. So
Is it
uh,
just any US coins, or are you just doing like quarters or pennies or nickels? What do we
anything. Well, I mean, I'm not picking up like Canadian coins or anything. I keep a yen. I keep 100 yen that I kept from Japan in there as
Okay.
like to keep the spirit at bay. It's like I'm in a strange land. I'm like, yes, I will give you one of your home, that belongs to your
Go.
home country, but the rest is going to be filled with American currency. So um, I filled them up. I put in everything I found before I moved, and I've been slowly dumping, dimes, nickels, and pennies in there. So it's maybe like on the bottom, like maybe to the foot now. So there's a lot to go because he's big. He's a big chunky boy.
Mm.
So I'm hoping, man, I can get like good $800 out of that thing. We'll see. We'll
Oh,
see. It's gonna
oh
take a
dang.
while.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's gonna take a while. But yes, other than that, I think that's everything news wise. So, and yes, and we're at an hour and 15 minutes. So actually kept this shorter than I thought it was going to be. Oh, all right. Well, I think that's all we got with this Godzilla Day recap, Jessica.
But
So
it was still glorious. It was still
it
glorious,
was
and we didn't fight 40,000 people. Maybe next
no,
year we'll
maybe
fight 40,000, 50,000 people.
maybe next year. If Shin Godzilla's coming out, or not Shin Godzilla, minus zero is coming out next Godzilla Day.
Mhm.
I definitely want to go back. Look, I spent a month there. There was a point after I got back, I'm like, okay, I need a break. But like 6 months later, I'm like, I miss the chirps of the crosswalks. I miss the sound, the distinct Japanese crows. They have their own language, their own calls.
Oh, okay, okay, I didn't notice that.
Oh yes,
Again, birds. I don't know.
they're they're dicks. When I went to Inoshima, there were signs everywhere. It says "Beware of the kites." That's what they call the falcons out there. KITE. And when you get to the top, there's like a food stand and ice cream stand. And the girl, when I bought my soft serve ice cream, she hands
Yeah.
it to me. She's like, Watch out for kite." I'm like, "What? Kite?" Like, no, kite, bird." Like, why? Snatch. Like, what? She's like, "Yes, snatch."
Oh, birds will take things right out. Oh my god,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
That's
and and I ate my ice cream and like an idiot because I'm a big fat guy. My buddy's like, "I want to go see the dragon at the other end of the island," so we walked down 15 stories of steps. And I
oof.
halfway down, I'm like, "Dude, we're gonna have to climb back up these." He's like, "Well, I'm in shape, so I'm not worried about it." I'm like, "God, dick." So fully halfway up. I got my second win, and I saw Japanese tourists who were half my size and in better shape also like crawling up because the steps were destroying them. I'm like, okay, I don't feel so bad, but I did tell my friends, if I die right here, there's no way anybody in this country is going to be able to lift my carcass. So just roll me into the ocean and let the sea take me,
Oh
because
my
that's the only
God.
dignified way this is gonna end. But I did make it to the top without having a heart attack. But as I got to the top,
Uh-oh.
it was getting a little dark, and I saw a woman buy 2 ice creams for her and her boyfriend, and she's walking.
Oh.
First swoop down, took the chocolate one right out of her hand. I'm like,
Oh my
oh,
God.
they do it.
Oh my God. That's some seagull
Yes.
by the beach, French fried chicken. I know. Is it cannibalism if they eat their own kind? Anyways, but yeah, they just take it. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, snatch right out of your hand.
Yes.
Oof.
1000%. So
Just be
the
glad that, you're physically okay.
yeah. Yeah, no. We walked back down. My buddy and his friend wanted to go see the cats because apparently it's a cat island and all the cats
Oh,
hang out in the harbor.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah, you were telling me. You said we found one cat.
We found a cat on the way down, and
A
he was
cat,
like,
a cat.
yeah, and he was like Kieran from Dragon Ball. He was just like got his eyes closed. He was in a little garden. He was like lit up, and he was just a little orange cat just kind of chilling. And my buddy's like, okay, we found one. We have to go find others. I'm like, you guys go find your
Oh.
cats. I got to go sit down. And I ended up ordering like fresh squid from like a little eatery that was like right there on the water.
Yeah,
As I was
yeah, yeah.
watching dudes in their Mazdas and Supras blowing butt down, the coastline, because apparently that's like a racing spot out there. So I was like, squid's nice. Those are some cool cars. I need to rest because I can't have a heart attack and die in a foreign country. There's the logistics here are just a nightmare for my friends. So, but yeah, ended up being a great day. It really taught me like I got to get in shape. I'm getting too old for this. So, but I digress. So let's wrap that up here, Jessica. On that note, where can the good people find more of us?
You can find us everywhere podcasts are downloadable. So, Spotify, Amazon, everything, if I am correct, Chris. But
Yeah.
most importantly, I do think, obviously, the Kaiju Kingdom podcast at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
We are on YouTube, is the
Mm-hmm.
big one that I wanted to, if you want to see our beautiful faces, if you're not just listening to us through audio, but also Facebook, obviously Instagram and Twitter. But Chris keeps our Facebook alive because if you missed any news, go to the Kaiju Kingdom podcast Facebook site. All of it is uploaded and recapped with caption by Chris. Chris keeps that social media, all of our social media platforms alive. And I think you've linked the full thing of Godzilla Shinjuku burning. We can't
Yes.
show it here for
Yes.
copyright reasons, and we're also going to be on YouTube, but you
Mm.
can actually find it there. Or
Yes.
Chris will link it in all of our podcast downloadable descriptions.
Yes. And as you're listening to this, I think it's going to be up for a month. So if you're listening to this, this should be up within the day. So if you're listening to this, go to YouTube. It's on the official Godzilla page. I will have links to it. But catch it while you can, because they tend to pull these things off and save them
Mm.
for DVD. So, but it's out there right now and properly subbed, so you can watch it.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is subtitled. Watch
Yes.
it in English.
So, and with that, that will do it for this edition of the Kaiju Kingdom podcast. From myself and
Jessica,
thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for
thank
listening,
you.
and we'll see you next time.
Yay.